The Mercedes-AMG GT is one of the most hotly anticipated cars of 2015. Mercedes hopes this car elevates its AMG brand from just its hot rod division to a genuine rival to the sports car elite. So can it? Well, there's only one way to find out. We're pitting the new AMG GT against the king of sports cars, Porsche's iconic 911. But not just any 911, the hardcore GT3. We've also brought along Audi's own supercar, the R8. The last hurrah for the original model, the special edition LMX. It's a diverse group: rear engine rear-wheel drive, mid-engine all-wheel drive, and front-engine rear-wheel drive. Which one is best? Well, to find out, we're going to hit the track. First up, it's the Audi R8 LMX. The all-new R8 is due to arrive in Australia in 2016, but this first generation is going out with a bang. Based on the R8 V10 Plus, the LMX's 5.2-litre V10 is tweaked to produce 419 kilowatts and 540 newton meters, and sends its power to all four wheels via a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. The LMX is the first production car in the world to feature laser headlights, and also comes standard with an aggressive-looking body kit that includes a fixed rear wing and carbon ceramic brakes. The R8 may be getting towards the end of its life, but it doesn't feel it on the track. Today's damp conditions arguably play to the R8's strengths. Its all-wheel drive means it has got a huge traction advantage over the other two rear-wheel drive cars. It has very little trouble hooking up out of corners and launching you down the straight, and thanks to that big V10, it really launches you. Far and away the quickest thing down the back straight we've had today. The R8 also demonstrates to Mercedes that it is possible for a mainstream luxury brand to cross over into genuine supercar territory. This may be an Audi, but it has no trouble holding its own on the track against Porsche and its Lamborghini cousins, the Gallardo and the new Huracan. This may be the last of the first generation R8, but it is going out on a high note. Listen to that engine, it just sounds fantastic. One of the things that really impresses with all three cars today is the stopping power. Carbon ceramic brakes provide so much bite. They're really pointless on the road, but when you get them onto a track like this, you can just hit them hard, corner after corner after corner, lap after lap, and they still just bite incredibly hard with no fade. It's really, really impressive. It does really feel like a $500,000 supercar, but that's what it is. 440 grand is a lot of money. To be blunt, the interior design of the R8 is dated with the company's previous generation technology and presentation. This is where it doesn't really look like a nearly $500,000 supercar and makes you think the wait for the new model might be worth it. The 911 GT3 is where Porsche's road cars meets its racing know-how. Few cars can claim to be so track-focused, blending motor racing pedigree from Porsche's Carrera Cup Racing Series with its decades of experience building road-going supercars. But it is still a road car that can be driven every day if you're willing to sacrifice a few creature comforts. In return, you get a 3.8-litre flat-six engine that has been fine-tuned to produce an impressive 350 kilowatts and 440 newton meters, as well as a body kit that looks at home on a racetrack. At $293,600 plus on roads, the GT3 is at the high end of Porsche's extensive 911 range, but it does undercut both of its rivals here. Unfortunately, today's wet conditions don't really suit the 911. It is quite stiff and therefore does tend to get a bit twitchy at times on this slick track. But underneath it, you can feel just how good this car is. There is a reason why 911s are held in such high regard. And it's because they are such brilliant sports cars. They do all the things you expect from a sports car incredibly well. The engine is really brilliant in this thing. And one of the best parts about the GT3 is, because they've stripped out a lot of the sound deadening, you can really hear it. That distinctive Porsche flat six engine barks and screams at you as you tear around here. Sounds fantastic. More importantly, it goes really hard. It has got fantastic grunt when you call on it. Right up high in the rev range, so it does really, really sing. One of the most controversial aspects of the new GT3 is a switch away from a manual transmission for the first time to Porsche's PDK dual clutch automatic. While it may be bad news for purists who love the 3-pedal layout, the reason for the change is simple. The PDK is faster. The German firm's own racing drivers reportedly prefer the rapid sharp shifts of the PDK. It is intuitive in both automatic mode on the road and track, but for greater control you can pick your own gear via the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. But what really makes the 911 so iconic is just how fun it is to drive. The chassis is really well balanced. Even though it is so stiff, as the track's dried out today, you're able to push on harder and harder. The corner speed you can carry in the 911 is amazing. The GT3 really is Porsche's attempt to blend its race cars and its road cars together. And it does a fantastic job. It really feels at home on the track. Even though it is a bit greasy and it's been a bit twitchy, it demands respect, but if you give it that respect, it is an incredible car to drive. It's so well balanced, the steering's so well sorted. It is just an exceptional car. And it's an exceptionally fast car too. But the 911 GT3 isn't without fault. It's the hardest of these three to live with because of its hardcore track-focused nature. Not only is the ride firmer, but the stripped-out interior is noisier, and you do miss out on the likes of a reversing camera and leather trim, which both of its competitors offer. The AMG GT is an old-school sports car, a big engine up front powering the rear wheels in a sleek two-door coupe body. The engine in question is a 4-litre twin-turbo V8. Mercedes Australia has skipped the entry-level model and will only offer the more potent S variant. In this guise, it boasts 375 kilowatts and 650 newton meters, which means it is in the middle of our trio on power, but offers the most torque. Our test car came fitted with the Edition 1 launch package, which adds a new body kit for a sportier look, interior upgrades, and carbon ceramic brakes for an additional $19,000. One of the first things you notice when you get the GT on track is the noise. The old 6.2 litre AMG V8 was brilliant. Loved it in the drive office. It was a great engine that sounded even greater. Moving to turbos is supposed to make engines less orally appealing, but someone forgot to tell AMG because this thing sounds fantastic. But not only that, it goes fantastic. The turbos give it so much mid-range punch. It really, really rockets down the straights here at Sandown. But you can really punch it out of corners. Like I said, down the end of these long straights here at Sandown, it really can motor this GT. Trying to put all that grunt to the road through the rear wheels is a bit of a challenge. You can feel it trying to fight the whole time with the stability control to try and get so much grunt to the road. So you've really got to be quite careful with it. But if you do treat it with respect, it is a really, really engaging, sporty car to drive. It really does feel like a proper sports car. But the other thing that surprises almost straight away with the GT is when you tip it into a corner, the steering is amazingly direct. Well, it might be a bit slow to turn, but as soon as you turn the steering wheel, it just tips it into the corner. It responds immediately. It's really, really direct. If there is a criticism of the steering, it's its light weighting, missing the substance and feel you expect from such a big, muscular sports car. And it can actually take you a few moments to get your head around just how sharp it is. The AMG also impresses inside with the sharpest looking and most luxurious interior of this trio. It has plenty of leather, Alcantara and a liberal amount of carbon fibre to give it the ideal blend of comfort and sportiness. There are no losers here, all three of these are excellent sports cars. But the Audi falls short of taking this three-way shootout thanks to its expensive asking price, dated interior and the fact a new model is just around the corner. But at its core it remains a proper, genuine supercar, which leaves AMG and Porsche to fight it out for top honours. The GT succeeds in changing the way you see AMG, from just a maker of muscle cars to a serious sports car brand. However, thanks to the GT3, the Porsche retains its title as the king of sports cars. The 911 in all its forms blends pure performance and everyday practicality better than the rest. But the AMG GT has closed the gap.